The May 26th and return edition of the JMSports Show is on the air. Hello everybody, Jonathan Lazar here for JMSports 100 and JMSports Show. The JMSports Show is back and in business. Could take me a little bit to get back into the swing of things here. It's been a while since I've done an organized video, so bear with me. This one might not be my best work. I'll say it right off the bat before we get too far into the show. One thing I'm not going to spend too much time on. I just want to give a quick congratulations to Tony Kanaan, who won today's Indianapolis 500. Of course, this is the day where the Indy 500 takes place, and then NASCAR has the Coca-Cola 600. And I'll talk about the Coca-Cola 600 in just a second, but before I get to the Coca-Cola 600, I want to get a little rant out of the way, and occasionally I will open the program with a rant, and it just so happens that today I've got one. And it is an auto racing front, it is a NASCAR front, so for those of you who are not auto racing fans, just bear with me or move forward or whatever you want to do. Kyle Busch is kind of known as kind of the arrogant prick, if you will, in the NASCAR community. But I'm not here to really rip on Kyle. I don't have an issue with Kyle. I don't always agree with his attitude, but I did meet Kyle back in 2005 at the NASCAR race at Chicagoland when he was a rookie in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and at that time he was a very humble and nice guy. I did get to talk to him, and he was a very humble and nice guy. But the question that I have is this, and if you have feelings on this, you can leave a comment or whatever. Is Kyle Busch single-handedly ruining the NASCAR Nationwide Series? Kyle Busch won his 7th NASCAR Nationwide Series race of the year on Saturday. I've always had kind of an issue with the Cup Series dominating the Nationwide Series, the Campbell Truck Series, the two lower tier levels in NASCAR. And I understand that NASCAR kind of needs the Cup drivers in there for ratings and stuff. But when you've got people like Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick who are winning, Brad Keselowski, who are winning nationwide races week in and week out, and same thing with Joey Logano last year, basically fans will quit watching. The Nationwide Series and the Camping Truck Series are supposed to be about the new and up-and-coming talent, seeing the new and up-and-coming talent and finding talent. And it is hard to do that, or it's hard for fans, especially to do that when you've got Sprint Cup drivers winning week in and week out. I think the smartest, one of the smart things that NASCAR did, and I've always been for it, was declaring for points. The Cup Series guys can't win nationwide championships. I think that's a good thing, because then you're going to give, the younger drivers chances to win championships. But at the same time, Cup guys are still dominating races, and it's going to happen because there's going to have to be Cup guys in the field more than likely for NASCAR to get ratings. But do you think that NASCAR should limit how many Cup races each driver can be in? Like I said, you've got people like Kyle Busch winning 7 nationwide races already this year, and he's not done yet. He's not done running the Nationwide Series. And you also have people like Joey Logano. I believe Joey Logano won 9 races in the Nationwide Series last year. And yeah, I know it is a lot of Gibbs. A lot of Gibbs domination. Kyle Busch is using Gibbs equipment in the Nationwide Series this year. Logano was using Gibbs equipment in the Nationwide Series last year, of course. Is it bad for the NASCAR Nationwide Series to let these Cup drivers run rampant in the Nationwide Series and dominate everything? I'll be honest. I still watch it because I'm a race fan, but at the same time, it gets a little bit old watching. Just like Kyle Busch win the Nationwide Series, just like a lot of fans will tell you, it gets tiring watching Jimmie Johnson win the Cup Series every week, and it gets old and repetitive. And I'm a race fan, so I can deal with it. But at the same time, you almost feel like something has to be done because there's a lot of people that I know that are just like, I don't watch Nationwide Series anymore, because basically if Kyle Busch is in it, Kyle's probably going to win it, and there's no need to watch it. Kyle Busch, however, did not win in the Coca-Cola 600 on Sunday. How's that for a transition? Kind of. He had some engine issues and finished 38th. Also having engine issues, Dale Earnhardt Jr. He got a 39th place finish. Jeff Gordon got a 35th place finish. He was in an accident along with Mark Martin and a couple of others. A couple of red flags. There is a report of some fans injured during the Coke 600. I am not going to cover that right now just because we don't know a whole lot about that at this time. However, the last two winners of the Coca-Cola 600, the 2012 winner, Casey Kane, 2011 winner, Kevin Harvick, it basically came down to those two. And in the end, it was Kevin Harvick picking up the win. So Kevin Harvick in the Coca-Cola 600 win. Here's a look at the rest of your top 10. Casey Kane second, Kurt Busch third, Denny Hamlin finishes fourth, Joey Logano fifth, Ryan Newman sixth, Tony Stewart seventh, Clint Boyer eighth, Martin Truex Jr. ninth, Marcus Ambrose rounds out your top 10. Carl Edwards 11th. Now, I haven't been paying a ton of attention to NASCAR at this point, to be honest with you. This year I just haven't. I've been pretty deadlocked in baseball, so I haven't been paying a lot of attention to NASCAR. I am going to get caught up, though, and we'll get caught up with you guys so I kind of know what's going on. I don't really have, I mean, I know who's won every race and stuff, but I kind of want to watch it. I don't have standing in front of me because it's really hard to find accurate standings. The night after the race. So, but that is something that I will give to you at some point in time this week. Let's move to the NBA really quickly, just before we get to the playoff game that took place tonight. Jeff Hornacek, who was a former NBA player for 14 years, former Phoenix Sun, and most recently a Utah Jazz assistant, will be a Phoenix Sun again, as he has agreed in principle to become their new head coach. So we will see what happens there as Hornacek agrees to become the new coach of the Suns. There was a playoff game tonight. I did watch it, and pretty it was not. Game 3 between the Heat and the Pacers was not a pretty game at all. Dwayne Wade had 18 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Roy Hibbert, 20 points, 17 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. But you wouldn't really know it by looking at the score, because really, outside of the first period, outside of the first, it really was not a close game. LeBron James had 22 also for the Heat and 21 points for the for the Pacers for David West. The Heat take a 2-1 series lead with a very ugly 114-96 win. I know that there's a lot of people. I know a lot of people that I know on Facebook are rooting for the Pacers to upend the Heat. I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to see the Pacers make a series out of this, and they very well might. But I do have to say this, in the end, I think the Heat win. Here's my prediction for right now. I've got the Heat and the Spurs in the finals, and I think the Heat are going to go back-to-back. I really do. I said it in the beginning of the year. You can go back on one of my videos. I don't even have a clue which video it would be, but you can go back and look. Somebody had asked me if I felt like, I believe it was the video where I ripped somebody for calling the Heat and LeBron James championship a fluke, and I don't remember off the top of my head who it was. I feel like I should, but I don't remember. I think somebody asked me, I think when on that video, somebody asked me if I felt like the Heat and the Thunder were going to be there in the end, and I said I felt like the Heat would be, but I didn't know about the Thunder, and I do still think the Heat would be, or will be. Will San Antonio be? You can find out tomorrow. Spurs, of course, lead the series 3-0. So Grizzlies obviously back against the wall, need a win. Spurs can cash their ticket to the NBA Finals tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN, and watch ESPN. And for those of you who want to watch it, I know that I indeed will be watching it. As far as MLB, I told you that I would be talking a little bit of MLB, but I wouldn't be making picks here. I will continue to make picks on my own, and I am being completely and 100% fair about this. There are people that have watched me do it, so they know that I'm doing it fairly, and they know that I do it before games. If any of you guys see the video and could attest to that, please do. But if you guys want to see my baseball picks, they're always made before games. Let me know on here in a message in the comments or whatever, and I will send you a copy of my picks for that day so you can see them. I'm not doing picks here on YouTube. I gotta keep you coming back for some reason. I gotta get you to communicate with me for some reason. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the scores for yesterday. Baltimore was up on Toronto. However, Baltimore did end up taking a loss, and it was a blown save for Jim Johnson of the O's, as they fall to the Blue Jays 6-5. Getting the win in that game was Steve Delabar. Steve Delabar now improves his record on the year to 4-1. Speaking of improving records, the Detroit Tigers all over the Minnesota Twins today. Mike Pelfrey drops to 3-5. So the Tigers get a 6-1 win over the Twins. Max Scherzer still perfect, 7-0 on the season. The Reds were up 4-1 on the Cubs, but the Cubs do come back. Something you don't get to say very much this year, but the Cubs do come back in a 5-4 win over Cincinnati. The Red Sox get by Cleveland 6-5. The Red Sox, like I said, get the win there. It was a good pitching matchup between the Nationals and Phillies, or it should have been. Steven Strasburg and Cole Hamels were both on the mound. We know Hamels is struggling mightily this year, whether it be pitching or run support, and basically he struggled with both. Today, 6-1, the Nats beat the Phils. Steven Strasburg gets the win and improves to 3-5 on the year, so bumping his record up a little bit, and Cole Hamels falls to 1-8. The Rays get past the Yankees 8-3. CC Sabathia takes the loss for the Yanks and falls to 4-4. For the Rays, improving to 6-2 is Alex Cobb. And let me tell you something. Alex Cobb has a 2.66 ERA this year. He is now 19-13 in his career in the majors. This kid is talented. I watched him pitch a couple of times. I watched a couple of Rays games this year where he has pitched, and he looks really good. He's fun to watch. He's got good stuff. He's young. He's talented, and I think Cobb is going to be a good one for quite a while if he can stay healthy. The White Sox get past the Marlins 5-3. Dylan Axelrod gets the win for the White Sox, and it drops the Marlins to 13-37, 6-19 on the road this year for them. For those of you who are interested in knowing, Alex Sanabia took the loss for the Fish as he falls to 3-7 on the season. The Angels get past the Royals 5-2, getting a win in that game and improving to 4-1 for the Angels is Jerome Williams. The Pirates get past the Brewers 5-4. Pirates, of course, and I can talk about this one in depthly because watch all the Brewer games. As you guys know, Giovanni Gallardo took the loss, falls to 3-5 on the year. And Wander Rodriguez, by the way, got the win. 6-2 is what he improves his record to on the year. So the Brewers continue to struggle. The Pirates continue to stay hot. And of course, the fun thing to see is, are the Pirates going to do what they did last year? Are they going to be hot in the first half of the year and collapse the second half? We'll have to see. I don't think so. It seems like a really good ball club. It seems like Clint Hurdle, manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, has a good feel for them, has a good look at, has a good grasp on them, and I think the Pirates will be fine. The Pirates at one point in time were up 4-0 in the game. Bases were loaded, and Ryan Braun came up to the plate and hit a 3-run double. A little bit of a scare for the Brewers as Giovanni Gallardo injured his ankle, sliding into second base. We will have to see what the deal is there. Brewers already really hurting in the bullpen right now, and basically in pitching all together with Kyle Loesch being a little bit banged up, and the possibility of Giovanni Gallardo being injured, and also closer, also the Brewers closer being injured as well. I completely blanked on what his name was. I know I shouldn't have, because I'm a Brewers fan, but I did. So that's another thing to also keep an eye on if you're a Brewers fan. If you're not really a Brewers fan, then you might not care. But if you're a Brewers fan, something to keep an eye on. Houston continues to struggle. Bartolo Colon continues to not struggle. Athletics beat the Astros 6-2. Bartolo Colon improves to 5-2 on the year for the Athletics, and the loss, speaking of bad records, drops the Astros to 14-36 and just 8-20 this year at home. So a home record of 8-20, and that is definitely not something there. I know that there's a lot of Brewer fans. I was talking to a couple of Brewer fans today, and they told me, they're like, I miss having the Astros in the NL Central, because it was usually easy wins for the Brewers. The Giants and the Rockies. The Giants get a 7-3 win. Matt King gets a win, improves to 4-2. The Mariners get past the Rangers 4-3. The Cardinals just continue to win 5-3. They beat the Dodgers. Arizona gets past San Diego 6-5, taking the win in that game for the Diamondbacks and improving to 8-0. Patrick Corbin. So the young Patrick Corbin, a 1.71 ERA for the 23-year-old left-hander. So a pretty good year going for Patrick Corbin. And in the last game that we have, the Mets double up the Braves 4-2, taking the win in that game for the New York Mets, LaTroy Hawkins. Let's take a look now at the games for Monday, and then it looks like this. We'll go through pitching matchups too. Should be a good one in Washington between the Orioles and the Nationals, as Jason Hill will go for the Baltimore Orioles. Gio Gonzalez goes for the Nats in that game. That should be a good one there. Pittsburgh and Detroit should be another good pitching matchup here. Francisco Liriano, who has pitched well for the Pirates since being activated from the DL, he has pitched well for the Pirates. He goes up against Justin Verlander, who always makes the game interesting. Cleveland and Cincinnati start a series tomorrow. Ubaldo Jimenez will go up against Mike Leake. Cardinals and Royals. Adam Wainwright will take the mound for the Cards. James Shields, big game James Shields, takes the mound for the Royals. The Twins and the Brewers start a home-and-home series. They play 2 in Milwaukee on Monday and Tuesday, and then 2 in Minnesota on Wednesday and Thursday. First pitching matchup of the series, as the first game takes place in Milwaukee. Kevin Correa will go up against Willie Peralta. Willie Peralta really needs a good start for the Brewers. He has kind of struggled at times this season. Colorado and Houston start a series Holly Chassin will go for the Rockies, and Houston will call on Bud Norris. The Marlins and Rays start a Florida series. Jose Fernandez will take the mound for the Marlins. He is 2-2 on the year, and he will go up against Jake Odorizzi, who does not have a decision this year. In fact, he has only played and started in one game in 5 innings. He had 5 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. No home runs. He fanned 6 and walked only 1. So I'm sorry, that's his only appearance this year was the one he started on. So where he went 5 innings and gave up what he said when I said he gave up there and took a no decision. Next up, Texas and Arizona. Yu Darvish always makes things interesting. He is on the mound for the Rangers, and Tyler Skaggs will be on the mound for the Athletics. He is 1-3 in his career with a 5.8 ERA. The next game we do have is San Francisco and Oakland. Madison Bumgarner will take the mound for the Giants. Dan Straley takes the mound for the Athletics. San Diego and Seattle start a series. Clayton Richard, Aaron Harang. Pitching matchup there. Atlanta is in Toronto to start off the week. Tim Hudson and Mark Burley is how it looks there. Philadelphia and Boston. Alfredo Aceves will go for the Red Sox. Tyler Cloyd will take the hill for the Phils. Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox, so the battle of the 2 Chicago teams there. Justin Marja will go for the Cubs, and Jose Quintana will go for the White Sox. The Yankees and Mets start a series as well. Phil Hughes, Jonathan Neese, the first pitching match of that series. Also, the Angels and the Dodgers have a series, and C.J. Wilson and Zach Greinke, the pitching matchup there, should be a good one. By the way, it is a doubleheader for Texas and Arizona. In that second game, Trevor Cahill will pitch for the Diamondbacks, and pitching for the Texas Rangers, Martin Perez. Alright guys, that is going to do it for me. This has been plenty long enough. Uploading this should be fun. Oh boy. Like I said, kind of a shaky return, but I haven't done an organized video in a while. Hope to have a microphone on Tuesday. Cannot wait. I don't know if there will be there'll probably be a show tomorrow. Not 100% sure with it being Memorial Day. Not quite sure what I'm going to be doing. So, happy Memorial Day to you all, and thank you to our servicemen and women for all that you guys do. And if I'm here tomorrow, I will see you tomorrow, and if not, I will see you on Tuesday. This has been the JM Sports Show. I am John Levels up for JM Sports 100 and the JM Sports Show. I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Tuesday. Not quite sure yet. We'll see. JM Sports Show.